Howdy, howdy. I'm Rhett from The Great Attempt.
Hi, I'm Gus from Travels from Yesterday.
And today we are doing a gear comparison review. What we would suggest and what we wouldn't suggest after 2 years of full-time travel. Me and Lene are what you would call maximalists, and we are trying to become what you would call minimalists. So there's a bit of a gap here as well. Hannah has been traveling for 6 years, along with Gus's 3 years or 4 years as well. So they have a lot more refined what they figured out what they like or what they need to cut out of their pack to be as light as possible, and we commend them for that. We, on the other hand, are in the process of getting rid of stuff. So, yeah, this is what we have.
All right, let's dive right in.
Yes, biggest piece of equipment that we have is, of course, the computers. We travel with a 16-inch MacBook Air. We like it and don't like it. So, pros. Big screen real estate, 16 inches worth to be able to edit everything, which is fantastic. It's a little bit thinner than the Pro version, so it could be arguably maybe lighter. However, the issue that we have with it is for it still being the Air version, it's not as light as we would like. So we would probably opt for a smaller screen real estate and have the Pro version. And then we'd probably end up having the same exact weight, if not a little bit lighter than what we have with this. What about you guys?
Yeah, well, we actually have two laptops. So we have the 16-inch MacBook Pro, which this is a beefcake. This is what we edit all of our YouTube videos on. So we have a 15-inch MacBook Air. And yeah, like I said, compared to the Pro, it's very light and very easy to carry around. The initial intention of buying this thing was so that when one person is working on a YouTube video on this big beefcake laptop, the other person could do some lighter editing stuff in Final Cut still, like reels or shorts or just short form video basically that you don't need as much power for. And that's why we chose to go with an Air instead of another Pro. So I don't know how heavy this thing is. It looks pretty bulky. I don't know if that's because of the
Yeah,
case as
so
well.
2-in-1 here. So we got the midnight blue version of the computer, and then I found this case that has a built-in little small kickstand to it and is a little bit robust. I'm a
Nice.
bit of a protection of the gear when it comes to different things, so I'll opt for something a little bit heavier if I know it's going to be a robust case. However, as we'll get to talking a little bit later, then you start to weigh a lot, and after 2 years of carrying that pack, it might be some residual pain that you're going to have to work out. So for us, the next biggest item, I suppose, would be an iPad mini. Now, when we started traveling with this, we thought we were going to use it so much. We did not. It ended up being a glorified watch Netflix while we're like cuddling on the couch type situation. And we did not properly utilize this. However, since towards the last, 6 months, we've really transitioned this into trying to make it more into our workflow and started to justify its space in the packs. And I think the way that we're using it now and how we do plan to further that is well worth the room.
Let's see. Next up, we have, I guess we'll do the gimbal.
Yes.
This is the Osmo 6. I'm not exactly sure what the name is, but it's great, super stable. It's everything I need. It comes with a little screw-on stand, and then it has this really strong clip that your phone goes into. You just magnetically snap that into place, and it's super stable, stabilizes your shots. It can do vertical, it can do horizontal just like that.
From a click of a button.
From
That's
the
awesome.
button. Super nice, and it has a little joystick on here as well, which you can use to kind of adjust your shots just like that. Very
Or get a
smooth.
much smoother pan than if
Exactly.
somebody was just holding it with their hand. Smaller fork cameras. I have this GoPro Max. This is the version 1, so a 360 camera. I have since broken it, which is very sad, but this thing has lasted at least 7 years. We used this before we went full-time traveling to do some hiking up to Colorado. Along those same lines, kind of unique camera that we pack is this. This is a foldable drone, like so, very, very
Super
small.
cute.
Um, so pros and cons. Pro, small, lightweight. Cons, very fast eating through your battery, right? And you have limited range. If it's a hardcore crosswind, it's going to be fighting for its life. So If you're someone who travels and really wants to get those beautiful cinematic drone shots, this is probably not going to be your camera. However, if you're someone who travels who would like to just add a little bit of extra drone spice of like, here's us in this pretty thing, let it fly 30 feet up, do a 360 or something and come back down to you, it's pretty easy. And it's a throw and go drone. So it is very user friendly, but it does have its drawbacks. You guys on what you film with.
Yeah, iPhone 15 Pro is our main camera, and then we also have the Insta360 Go 3S, which was a bit of an impulse buy. I will say we spent 420 US dollars on it. A little steep because I think what we saw today, it goes for $300 from their own website, new. So yeah, definitely overspent a little bit. And for the amount that we use it, yeah.
That's hopefully going to be changing
Very soon.
because we did get to have a little bit of our maiden voyage just trying to play around with the camera, and it can be fun to use.
Yeah, and it's pretty great because it comes apart just like this. Basically, the camera is in this little pill. This pill is waterproof up to this deep. I don't know exactly, but
We'll
we'll put it
put
on
the
screen.
details on screen.
If you want to go even deeper, they do sell like a hard shell, an extra case that you can put on it if you want to go like properly diving. But for snorkeling, it's perfect.
Quick question.
Yeah,
Is the housing unit itself waterproof or no? Or is it just the pill?
just the pill that's waterproof. Don't take this into the water with you. For
Gotcha.
sure.
Kind of along the same lines, we have this very, very small tripod for our phone, but this felt a little bit more secure in Lene's hand as she was filming on the Hajong Loop, which, as you guys can see or done any research or done it yourselves, you know that those roads can get pretty mountainous and rocky and crazy, and just having it here instead of here was great.
Check out their Hajong Loop video. It's great.
Very insightful, very educational. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, and that one was actually fully filmed, just me on the back holding my phone, just like that.
So something like this might have come in handy.
Would have been awesome to have that for sure.
Speaking of, we have this very, very long tripod, which is great for if you're going to sit and talk with it. But as you can see, it is not the greatest thing to subtly film with. And so the smallest, it's like this. So you can definitely tell you're running with like a baton for track.
Yeah.
So something like this with the mount for the 363 Go S or whatever it's called would be much more subtle to film with in public. Let's go to power. So we have this chunky power bank. The reason that we from Anchor, I'll list the name here. It has two USB-C ports and one Type-C port. I like it and don't like it. Again, pros, this will keep my computer from dying, which is great. Con, it is heavy. Like this thing is quite heavy. But pro, it's pretty robust. This thing has survived a lot of drops, a lot of crashes. It's covered with scrapes and stuff, and it's still going. Along those same lines, we do have universal adapter thing, very small form here from Anchor. I like it. It's pretty good.
Well, we used to have a 20,000 milliamp hour power bank before it got stolen in Mexico. We did get some stuff back because of the Insta360 Go 3S because it has a Find My feature on iPhone, so we could track it exactly where it was in Mexico, which was awesome. And we got the camera back, the gimbal back, and the microphone back, which we'll get to. But yeah, so no more power bank. We haven't bought a new one yet because, to be honest, like a big one like that, we really haven't needed it, especially a big one like that. What I would love is I usually just need to charge my phone one more time if I'm out and about. So if I'm on a hike, I usually need to charge,
So
be able to
something like
charge
this.
it like once, and then it should be fine.
Let's talk about storage. So, full transparency here, TGA, we pay for like 6 terabytes of iCloud storage now, which is insane. We're in the process of trying to offload our storage, but we had to do that at least in the meantime so we wouldn't lose anything.
Yeah.
So we travel with this 2 terabyte SanDisk
Nice.
thing that still has a lot of our adventures on it,
Mhm.
and another 2 terabyte Crucial here, and we have a third 2 terabyte
Wow.
thing. So we have 6 terabytes worth of stuff. It's not fully filled that we could use to offload in an emergency situation should the iCloud thing not want to back up.
We used to have one of those similar, 2 terabyte, but it got stolen. So,
Duh.
yeah.
So many things happened with the
Yeah.
bag getting stolen.
I think at the moment we also pay for the 6 terabyte plan, iCloud plan. I'm sure in the future we'll move that onto hard drive so that we don't have to pay as much. I think we're paying like $30 a month, which not bad, but
But it's not a small amount. Like that adds up over some time.
it
for
adds
sure.
up pretty quick. So we started out with the Holyland Lark M2 microphone, which is just this tiny little puck, and it has a magnetic little thing that you can put through your shirt, and then it just clips on just like that, just like this one. We chose this one because we didn't want to spend like a ton on a microphone because it was going to be just our first microphone ever. Funnily enough, the DJI Mic Mini came out a week after we bought this one, which, yeah, that was unfortunate timing, but it is what it is. This thing, super portable though. As you can see, it's a very small little case, and you just plug this tiny little receiver into your phone. As you can see, one microphone is missing. That's because
Let me guess. Get that stolen.
no, it didn't actually get stolen. But I was hiking the Santa Ana volcano in El Salvador, and I had my microphone clipped on my shirt just like that. And you might be able to feel it, but with these microphones, the DJI ones, I feel like I probably shouldn't touch it, but I feel like the magnet is quite a bit stronger, whereas this one, you can like, basically I was wearing my backpack and the straps like pushed it to the side. It fell into the sand somewhere, and I had no idea until
It's melted in volcanic ash somewhere in
Yeah.
El Salvador.
the reason why we upgraded. Yeah, upgrade. I think this is a better microphone. The DJI Mini is just like the next step up, you know? But
And I'm assuming it's also the next step up in price as well. Is it worth it though?
here's the
Or-
thing. I feel like this one is only like or the same price or like $10 more expensive. So if
Yeah.
I were you and I was, on the fence, I would go for the DJI Mic Mini.
If I could offer this one tip for anybody when it comes to all tech related things, if it is not convenient to use, you will not use it. You think, oh, I can grab this adapter here and this adapter to make this thing work. But in the heat of the moment, when you're on the side of a mountain or you're on the back of a scooter or you're just wanting to film something quick and easy with ease of mind, it needs to be convenient to use. So spend a little extra money, get the thing that you know is going to be convenient and seamless, and your future selves will thank you. All right, so we are now to the extra items, helpful items, luxury items, just extra things that we carry. Let's start with Gus.
Okay. So actually I used to travel with these big over-ear headphones as well, and I really found that I was only wearing my AirPods ever. These new AirPods Pro 2, I think these are, the noise canceling on these things are so good that I found there's no need for over-ear headphones. Sound quality is great and noise canceling is amazing. So,
Couple of questions about them.
yeah.
So, one, battery life. What are we talking? Pretty good? Hold it up? Do you need to charge it every night?
Battery life is amazing. I think 5 hours on a single charge. Basically, if you take them out, you can play music for 5 hours straight. And the case will be able to charge the AirPods inside another like 5 times.
Perfect.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
What about waterproof ability?
We were in El Salvador again, and I was actually doing this hike by myself. And I was walking over these steps. Basically, I was like, da, 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 and then I slipped, and then one of the AirPods fell into the water, and I was like, getting myself together. I was checking out like my wound on my hand and everything. So the AirPod was submerged for a solid minute, and it was still going. It still
I
works
think that's
perfectly.
a pretty good stress test
Yeah.
for those. So.
My mom has put them in the washer once, and they came out working still. So
Now, we wouldn't suggest you do that, but they can survive. So, speaking of headphones,
yeah.
we have these over-the-ear headphones that I actually got for my work. These were about 130 US. We just so happened to bring them on a couple of trips and realized, oh, this is great for noise cancellation on the plane. We are debating whether or not we will travel full time with something like this because, as you can see, This is what we traveled full time with before. These are more over the ear headphones.
Okay.
I am a very, very, very sweaty human being. Just full transparency with that. And so I have ones that hook over the ear. These are Walmart that I got for maybe 20 bucks or something, and they've
Okay.
been to all 25 different countries. So they worked. You don't need really expensive piece of ones. This is more than likely what we'll continue to travel with. This is just a bells and whistle item that we brought for a couple of trips. Something else that I think is actually worth the investment would be this toiletry bag right here from Gravel. It is very much made of this kind of water resistant material, as well as the zipper. Whenever you zip this closed, it's kind of helps with keeping the water out. It does also hang. So it folds out like so. It has a separate little compartment for like your toothbrush, little separate waterproof compartment here that you can put a bar of soap or anything else down there, which is nice. And then this is just quite literally a hook that hooks to itself and you can hang it from anything. And strongly suggest finding a toiletry bag that can hang up.
Awesome. We have this toiletry bag right here, bought at the Flying Tiger. And if you know the Flying Tiger, it has a bunch of items that are very cheap and somewhat poorly made as well. I think we got this thing for $5. Big space here. You got a couple of different compartments. None of it is waterproof or anything like that, but you do have a little handy dandy hook, so that's nice.
So again, hanging up your toiletries is a must. And let's say that you have a toiletry bag that doesn't have the ability to hang. That is where something like this comes in handy. This is called the Hero Clip, and it is able to hook to your bag, whatever, or whatever you want to do. And then boom, you're able to hang it using this. Very helpful. Now, these are not climbing rated, so don't go hanging off the edge of a cliff with them. But they can, this is the medium, they can help hold up to 60 pounds. I probably wouldn't try to go to 60 pounds. I would keep it well beneath that. But Lene and I each have one of these. They're the medium size, definitely worth the investment. Speaking of these guys, though, as you can see, I do love my carabiners in general. These things come in handy in place that you didn't know that you needed it. For example, you're staying in a hostel and you're on the bottom bunk and there's no privacy curtain at all. And you're just like, I would like to have a little bit of privacy. Take some of these guys, get your towel, get some extra clothes, a jacket, and just kind of, you can create your own little separate privacy curtain. Along the same lines, because we're talking about hanging stuff up and toiletries, doing your washing. So these are laundry wash sheets. So one of these small little sheets, you can wash your stuff in the sink or in any sort of machine. You'll have to use a couple of sheets to do that, but it is nice and compact and really, really easy to use. This right here is another sheet body wash. This is for a classic sink shower. Sometimes push comes to shove, you're really thinking you can't get to a shower. These things do come in handy. We probably wouldn't travel with these anymore, but we will continue to travel with the laundry sheets. And sometimes you don't have a way to dry your clothes, at least not easily. This is a nice compact line. Gus, I'll have you grab that end.
Yeah, wow.
And it extends very, 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 very far. Has lots of places for you to clip clothes, and you can do this indoors as well, as long as you tie it to whatever side appropriately.
All right. Has a tiny little hook on the end as well.
Yes, so you can hook it around and tighten it like so.
We swear by this thing. We make coffee at home every day, and a milk frother, it comes in handy.
Along the shower things, don't know what sorcery this is, but this is a Matador soap bag. And somehow you can get a wet bar of soap, put the wet bar of soap into this, and it doesn't leak through and it somehow dries out and it can be thrown into any sort of toiletry bag. You don't have to worry about your bar of soap getting everything all sudsy and ironically clean. But we swear up and down by them. Lene and I have multiple of them. 1000% worth it. So, airflow is great, especially in these hot places. Gus can attest to it.
Yes.
This is definitely everywhere. It's good old manual, and it is very compact. We would suggest traveling with something fan like this. This was given to us at some sort of wedding. It was hot outside, and we used it for Colombia, but we will not be traveling full time with something like this. But Gus is reaping the benefits of it since we're here.
So the next thing, and this is really a beginner backpacker mistake that I made, is to not buy any packing cubes when I started traveling. So when I went to Australia as a 19-year-old, fresh, I just stuffed everything loose in my backpack, and I wish I had just packing cubes for everything. It just makes everything way more organized. And so this one in particular, it actually compresses even more if I can find the right zip. And so, you know, you can fill it all the way up, you can squeeze it all the way down, and then zip it right up, and then you have way more space
Yeah,
in
it
your
helps.
backpack than you would if you were to just stuff everything in loose.
Compression cubes, we use the ones by Peak Design. We really like those as well, but you don't have to spend that amount of money. You can get these off of Amazon. They're very, very cheap and 1000% worth it. Now, time for a little bit more of Overboard. So this is Rollaway Security Fireproof Bag. This is for your copies of passport, copies of marriage documents, or any like shots, all that stuff that are like very important documents that you don't want to lose. However, it might be a bit overkill. If you're someone who's just going for a weekend trip and you're not quite sure, it may not be worth it. But if you're someone who's traveling for a good long time and you want to make sure you have copies of everything, it is definitely worth it. We ourselves have seen horror stories about, oh, this hostel burned down, they lost all their passport, and then they were stuck in a country and had to do all the ins and outs. And this just is a little bit peace of mind.
So this is our microfiber towel. I've had this one for 7 years now, and it looks basically brand new. I've washed it a million times, and it's still in perfect condition. You use it as a towel on the beach. You use it when you can't bring your big fluffy towel when you're backpacking. And yeah, it's awesome. It's great quality, and it's super compact. It's very small. So,
But we would definitely
stuff.
suggest getting a Gus-sized one. So show them just exactly what a Gus-sized towel is.
all right. So mine is extra big. It's
Let's see Lene buy it.
my
So it's
goodness.
5'3".
That's crazy. And I can actually do a magic trick with this thing. So
Gus! Gus, where are you? Oh, there he is!
Hannah's had hers for 13 years. And same as mine. I mean, this one will last us another 7 years as well.
This is called Gravel. So this is the same company that did the toiletry bags. This works as a travel pillow as well as a blanket. It unfolds. If you have two of them, they can snap together, which is nice. But again, this is what I would classify as definitely a luxury item. Hold that side for me, Gus.
This is so extra.
So this is a hand warmer. So if you're going to someplace really, really cold and you're wearing it like so, you can put your hands in there. It has a little secret compartment. Also has a compartment for your feet. We have reached the point that we don't feel like we need this, but Gravel toiletry bags, we 1000% will keep. Last, but certainly not least, along with the packable items and like expanding items here, we have a Bagoo. This here is a compact grocery bag, but you can use it for just about anything. Has a very cool, cute little pattern on it. And we have definitely used a couple of these when we do our grocery shopping. And it
Very
packs really, really small into this small compartment
Little
here.
cube.
So I think this is one of those
That's cute.
definitely worth it, especially if you're doing long-term travel and you're doing a lot of grocery runs.
For our final item, we have this pair of sunglasses. Basically, I don't think that it's worth investing in like a good pair of Ray-Ban or Oakley or whatever sunglasses you prefer when you go long-term traveling, because there are just too many opportunities for you to either lose it, it gets stolen, or it breaks. And so what I've done is just wherever I go, I buy some pair of sunglasses for like $5 or $10, just whatever the locals sell, and then just use it until it starts falling apart, and then you just buy a new one. I don't know. This one is even already falling apart, but we're still rocking with it.
Ours are kind of the same way. These are like was it lost and found that nobody claimed that we could have, and this one was like really, really cheap gas station sunglasses. So same type thing. We agree wholeheartedly. It's not worth it. Lene has broken 8 pairs of sunglasses since we've been traveling, so no sunglasses is safe. Sunglasses, sleep in fear tonight. Rapid fire time now. Headlamp, good headlamp's always good. Make sure you find one with a red light on there, so that way if you're doing anything at night around people, you're not bothering them. This is a small little magnet carabiner hang from the tent type light, and it is Type-C charged. It does get quite bright, and it has a SOS kind of strobe light on it, which is definitely worth it.
That thing's awesome.
Gus really likes that for whatever reason. Waterproof journal would be nice. Just add a little. These are Right in the Rain. Very, very good. This is, of course, what we use for our apocalypse, which is very similar to a bucket list, but it has a little bit more sense of urgency to it. And then I do believe this is just another small microfiber towel that we use for camera lenses, small hand towel type things. Honestly, if we had a bigger thing, we would just use that. And then I believe last, but certainly not least, most underrated item that I have is this. You might be asking, what is this orange sphere ball? This is for the sneaker. It's called a sneaker ball for your stinky shoes. But it doesn't just have to be for your shoe. You can put them in your dirty clothes bag. You can put them in your bag itself. We got really, really cheap off of Amazon. It's been going on 2 years now, and they're still rocking and rolling.
Nice.
Oh, and then of course, guys, if you do find yourself having to check your bag, having a TSA-approved lock is 1,000% worth it. Just adds a little extra peace of mind, and you can double as a locker for hostels if you're able to lock your bags away in the hostel lockers, hopefully provided. There's one other item that we forgot to mention. It is one of those that is definitely not needed, but has come in handy in a lot of tropical environments. This is a waterproof bag. Now, this is massive, hold 20 liters, can probably hold almost everything that we own with us, which is great, but you fold it up nice and small, take the straps off, and boom. However, we would suggest if you do decide to get some sort of dry bag, especially a big one like this, don't get just the one that has the singular arm strap on there, because over time that can really be abrasive and annoying. And when you're hiking through the jungle and you're already sweaty and chafy, it's not so great. Get one that has a backpack strap, 2 clips, and it's definitely worth it. But yes, is this also overkill? 1,000%. We are maximalists trying to become minimalist, and we are failing every step of the way. This has been The Great Attempt.
And travels from yesterday.
Please subscribe and like for more.
Without the fluff.
Without the fluff.
Only this,
Without the fluff.
only this fluff.
Yes!